Hey kindergartners, Mr. Bell here. All right, let's get started on your next project, and that is going to be the spiral project. That's right, a spiral, just like on this snail. Let's follow the shape of the spiral. Look at this. This line just gets bigger and bigger and bigger out from the center, and it keeps getting bigger. Only we're not going to do a spiral for the shell on the snail. We are going to make a spiral for a pretend lollipop. All right? All right. So we're going to make a lollipop. Lollipop. And I want you to use an ABC pattern inside. See that? Yellow, yellow, green, green, yellow, yellow, green, green. A is the yellow, B is the yellow green, and C is the regular green. And it just keeps repeating over and over again. A, B, C, pattern. All right, let's get started. This is what you're going to need. You're going to need a sheet of paper. You can use regular paper, but it's probably better to use construction paper or tag board, something a little thicker, but it'll work on a regular sheet of paper too. So just keep that in mind. And find something circular that you can trace, or you can draw your own circle. I'm using this applesauce cup that's been washed out. I'm going to flip it upside down. I'm not going to use the middle. I'm going to trace it down here because really I could, on this half a sheet of tag board, I could make 1, 2, 3. I could make 3 different lollipops. You can do more than one. Make one for a family member or a friend. So I'm going to put it way down here, right near the edge. Still have plenty of space around it because we don't want to waste paper. Hold down whatever it is you're tracing. Make a circle. And get some scissors. And you know what? I think it'd be best if we actually drew the spiral first and then colored it and then cut it out. Because it's easier to hold a sheet of paper like this. So don't cut it yet. All right. Now, let's zoom in a little bit here so you can see a little better. Sorry for the noise. And here we go. All right, so find the center. That looks pretty close to the middle. Just take your best guess. Pretend like you're going to make a little circle there. But go past it. And just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Make sure none of these lines touch each other. You need space in between all of them, okay? And I come around like this, and I think I'm going to finish over here. Okay, that's good. That's a pretty good spiral. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then I want you to get a marker if you have one. That'd be best, but you could use a crayon. But I think a marker would be better. I'm going to use black, and you can tell on this one that I used a blue marker, and I traced right on top of the pencil line. But I colored inside with crayon. But you could use marker to do this part if you want to. So here we go. This time I'm using black. I'm going to use the very pointy part. There we go. Use that pointy part. You'll get a better line that way. Take your time. If you trace slower, your line will come out darker. There we go. I'm tracing around. Let me turn my paper a little bit. You can do it that way if you want, or you can just keep it this way and keep tracing. I like to do it like this. There we go. And I'm going to stop right there. I don't need to trace the very outside because I'm going to be cutting that part off with scissors anyway. Alright? There we go. Always put the cap all the way on the marker. Make sure it clicks because you don't want your marker to run out of ink. You don't want it to dry up. Alright. Now I'm going to pick my 3 crayons or markers if you want to. I'm going to use warm colors. So I'm using yellow, orange, and red. And start with whichever one you want. I'm going to start with yellow. I'm going to color in here like this. And I'm going to stop. I'm going to go on to the red. I'm sorry, the orange. I'm going to color this part. Make sure it overlaps a little bit. You want the colors. I'm going to put the orange on top of the yellow a little bit. That'll make a nice yellow orange in there when they're mixed together. Give you an extra color. There's my orange. I'm going to go on to my red. Ooh, that's violet red. That's not even regular red. Should have tested that first, right? There we go. Okay, regular red. The paper looks the same, so it's hard to tell. So I'm going to go right on top and overlap a little bit on the orange. Get some red orange in there. There we go. And back to yellow again. So that's A is the yellow, B is the orange, C is the red. Now I'm going back to A again. Look what happens when the red goes on top of when the yellow goes on top of the red. When the red and yellow mix together, it turns kind of an orange color. That's cool. Now to orange. Here we go. Overlap it a little bit here. Alright. Then to the red. Overlap it a little bit here. That looks good. I'm going to color kind of lightly right here. There we go. I'm going to color a little harder over here. Yellow, orange, red. Yellow, orange, red. I'm going to go a little further with this red. I want to do it one more time. Yellow, orange. Oh, looks like I'm going to be able to get it several more times. Back to yellow again. Overlap it a little bit here. Then the orange. Trying to color kind of lightly on top of the yellow with the orange. Not too hard. Just want to blend it a little bit in there. Whoops, I got to stay on the camera, don't I? And back to the red again. There we go. Overlap it a little bit here. There we go. And I can still see my pencil line there. I'm not worried about coloring on top of that a little bit. Go a little further. Orange, red. Now back to yellow again. I'm going to put a bunch of yellow in there. I'm going to go all the way up to here. Make it longer. You can make yours shorter if you want to and do it a whole bunch of times. That's up to you. Orange. There we go. Overlap it a little bit here. I like it where it overlaps. It looks neat. Got some extra color in there. There we go. Let me turn it this way so you can see it a little better. There we go. See that? And finishing with red. There we go. It's okay to go past the lines. You're going to be cutting along there anyway, aren't you? Okay. Looks like I could use a little bit more in there. Take a look at it, see if there's any parts where you need to add some. Yellow in here. Not worried about my marker line. Okay, now you want to cut. So I'm going to come in here and you want to take your time cutting this. Don't cut too fast. Make sure your thumb's in the small hole. Put your fingers in the long hole, in the bigger hole. Okay? I can barely get my fingers in there. Sometimes my thumb gets stuck, so I can't put it in all the way, but Just be careful when you're cutting with scissors. Make sure you have permission from an adult. There we go. I'm trying my hardest to stay on that line. Look at my little small cuts. That's a good way to make sure you stay on the line really well. You keep this circular. You want to keep this looking like a good geometric shape, like a good circle. And voila. There we go. Put this over to the side. Look at all the extra space. I can make a whole bunch more with lots of different colors. That'll look neat. I'll zoom up a little bit. Okay. So they're very similar, but different colors. Now this is what you need to do next. Get yourself some glue. Maybe a piece of tape would work also. Okay. And there's a piece of tape. I prefer to use glue, but what you're going to do next is flip this over on the back. I'll show you what it looks like back here. And get a popsicle stick or something that you can glue on there and it can hold in place. Now, I like to lay it on here and I like to hold it down. And then I get my pencil and I trace the part that's going to get glued on there. And that leaves a little shape of the popsicle stick there. And now I can put some glue in here. Whoops, I put a little too much, didn't I? Came out fast. Always close the cap on your glue so it doesn't dry shut. And then very carefully place that in there. Push down gently and let it dry. Alright, got to give it some time to dry. Might have to wait overnight. Alright, and then the next morning it'll be stuck on there. If you don't have glue, you can use tape, or you can use glue and tape. Get a piece of tape like this. Sometimes I use both, just to hold it in place. There we go. And you can use more tape if you need to, especially if you don't have any glue. You might want to put a lot of extra tape on there to hold it in place. And don't forget to write your name on the back. Alright? Mr. Bell. Or maybe you want to write a note to someone and give it to somebody. Alright? There we go. And you have a pretend lollipop. Little spiral on there with the ABC pattern. Lots of fun. Alright, make sure that you let it dry. And when it dries, you can see this one. It dries kind of clear. Alright? Holds on there really well. Alright, boys and girls. Have a good time. Can't wait to see your lollipops. Take a picture and send it to me so I can see them. Bye-bye.